We are third grade students at Gymnasium Mate Blazina Labin and, in collaboration with our teacher Olivera Tadić, we decided to do a series of activities called a puzzle called Microplastics to learn how microplastics are created and why as environmental hazards. The work plan was, 1. Our teacher explained to us through a lecture and discussion how microplastics are created and why are dangerous. 2. We found a method for determining microplastics and created worksheets with instructions for the work. 3. On the Maslinica beach in Rabac, we took sand samples and determined possible sources of microplastics. 4. In the school laboratory, we determined the amount of microplastics in each sample. Professor Olivera Tadić gave a lecture to answer our questions. What is plastic and what are the most commonly used types? What is microplastic and where does it come from? What are the consequences of microplastics? We found a method for determining microplastics and created worksheets with instructions for the work. On Maslinica beach in Rabac, we took 3 sand samples, on the playground, near the entrance for the disabled peoples and near the elevator for boat. By examining the beach, we identified possible sources of microplastics. By examining the beach, we identified possible sources of microplastics. From the sea, waste, wear and tear of boats, playground equipment, deck chairs, etc. Washing from roads, parking lots and parks. In the school laboratory, we prepared samples for analysis. 1. Weighing samples. 2. Separating samples through a sieve. 3. Placing samples in a bottle of salt water. The next day, we determined the amount of microplastics, Ssmb, by filtering the samples, drying the filter papers, and then using a small microscope connected to a mobile phone, we counted the microplastic particles in each sample. We can conclude. To our satisfaction, the results show that the Ssmb pollution on the Maslinica beach in Rabac is insignificant. We must note that at this time, April, there is no one on the beach because the tourist season has not yet started. We will repeat our measurement in September. Microplastics are small pieces of plastic material, usually smaller than 5 millimeters. According to the UN, there are 51 trillion microplastic particles in the oceans, 500 times more than there are stars in our galaxy. EU Solutions MEPs have approved a plastic strategy that will reduce plastic packaging on the EU market by 2030 and limit the intentional use of microplastics. MEPs are calling for a ban on microplastics in cosmetics by 2020, for standards to be introduced for the quality of recycled plastics and for some products to significantly reduce microplastics at the point of production, for example, in textiles, paints, and cigarettes.